Hi guys, so I'm going to do the childhood tag. I was tagged by two people, Melissa from the Metalhead Bookworm and Lara from Lara Elwing. I hope I got your username right this time. Thank you very much guys for tagging me. This is going to be in two parts because we all know I cannot stop talking and YouTube won't let me upload things that are large, so I'm going to stop halfway through. Okay, first question. Favourite childhood books? I was, of course, a big reader as a kid. Books that stand out for me. I'm going to do the childhood book tag, even though it wasn't tagged, because it looks like so much fun. But books I loved as a kid, I loved Angelina Ballerina, because that was the first book I read out loud to my mum, and I remember that. I loved like classics. I read The Water Babies, and Frances Hodgson Burnett, like The Secret Garden and The Little Princess. I read those two. And Anne of Green Gables, I think. Yeah, I started Anne of Green Gables series when I was a kid, when I was about 10, I think. But the main thing I read as a child, and I'm unashamed of it, was The Babysitter's Club, and I'll show you this in the other tag. This is a complete guide that I kept because it's so frackin' awesome. Really. I had, I think, upwards of 100 books in the Babysitter's Club series. And I had the TV show and the film and merchandise. It was sad. I always wanted a doll. I never got a Babysitter's Club doll, but I wanted one. So they were was the main books that occupy my memory of what I read as a kid. Favorite year in primary school or elementary school? I call it primary school. I didn't really have a favorite year per se that I can think of. Even when I look back and I think, oh, well, that year wasn't too bad. I remember things that really stand out as being unpleasant. I was teased an awful lot at school, so I didn't always have a very nice time of it. I guess if I had to pick a favourite year, it would probably be kindergarten. I guess because, I mean, I was certainly still getting teased then, but I suppose because I was so young, I was relatively carefree and I didn't let it affect me as much, so I still had a lot of fun and got to still play with my friends and it didn't bother me as much, although I did get upset a lot. It's not nice to be teased. Best friend as a kid. I was one of those people that it seemed to be in abundance at my school. I don't know if this is the case with everybody, but it felt like you had to have a best friend each year, and it was mainly just so that you could have those best friend necklaces that are crescent moons and they join together and one says best and one says friend, and so you just had to pick someone to be your best friend so you guys could have those necklaces because they were quite pretty. And I did have the one best friend between kindergarten and year 3. That was pretty long lasting, and we had nothing in common, so I don't know how we were mates. But she's still a really nice person. I just don't know where that came from. And it was sort of like after that I had like a new best friend each year, sort of thing. But there are close friends I made at the beginning of kindergarten who I'm still very, very close to now, which is great. And they're the people that I think of when I think of like old school friends. I think of them. So, worst haircut as a kid. I rocked the bob because that was in. So I had that in like 1990 and 91. So I like had came down to here and it was so sharply cut. And then the fringe that went like that. And I thought it was cool because that was what all the fashion models had and the pop stars, and it was like, it was just so straight, but I thought I looked awesome, and I used to wear it with little hats and outfit ensembles, and yeah, bobs were in. Favorite TV show. This can take a long time, so I might have to split this part in two, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so in Australia, non-fiction-y TV shows for kids that I loved. One, it's called Play School, and it's still around. It's been around for years, and it's like a kind of variety show for like preschool kids, and they sing lots of songs, and they tell you stories, and they do arts and crafts and stuff. But the main thing is that they sing you a lot of songs, and the big thing is that most of the hosts over the years on the show have been musical theatre performers in Australia. So that's been the really cool thing. It's sort of the launching pad for them because you have to sing live in every episode. They're just playing along with the piano. And so you learn great songs from that. You learn great dance moves and stuff. And we had a record, like a Play School record of all the music and things. And I was a big fan of that. There was also a show called Romper Room that you could go on to the show. Like if you, I think like your parents signed you up or something, and you could go on for an episode and be on there and do the dances and stuff. We never went on, and we will never forgive, my sister and I will never forgive our parents for that. It's scarred us emotionally, and the pain will never go away. Also, there was a show that used to be on in the mornings called The Book Place, and it was the most beautiful show because it was set in a bookstore, and it was sort of magical. They'd like, the host, they'd read you stories, all different stories through the episode. It was like half an hour long, but like there was a magic armchair that would talk to you, and for some reason there was a tree that they'd sit under and it would talk to you, and one of the hosts was a bookworm. He was like a puppet, and he talked to you, and he was English and he had a bow tie. It was great because they read you books. It was the most fantastic show. I loved it. I loved it so much. Okay, other Australian TV shows that I loved. These are live action shows. There was Ship to Shore, which is still an excellent show because I watched 2 episodes on YouTube and I've remembered how great that show was. And everyone, all Australian kids remembered like the theme tunes, like it was so catchy. It was that used to be on Sunday mornings. And there was Round the Twist, which used to be on in the afternoons, and it went for like upwards of like 12 years, I think. They changed the cast like 3 times, but that was a wacky family show, sort of like fantastical comedy stuff. It was really random, but a great show. There was Genie from Down Under, which was whacked. It was like an Australian genie in a bottle. Yeah, but that was an amusing show. There was another live-action Australian show that I'm really trying to remember now, and I've completely blanked on it. But whatever it was good. Because I'm going to keep rambling, I will go to the second part of this childhood tag now, and hopefully this will upload. So I'll see you all soon.